So, what's your name and age?
My name is Jeremy Fritz, and I am 44 years old.
So, are you Republican, Democratic, or Independent?
I am registered as a Republican.
Cool. Any particular reason?
Probably because I grew up in the Midwest and my parents were Republicans, and so that's how I registered as when I became of age to vote.
All right. So, where do you get your news from?
So I get my news from uh, the evening television or morning television news, and then also from my iPhone internet. So when things come up, I usually get notifications if something's going on.
Cool. All right. So, what is your interest level in government?
What is my interest level in government? I would say that I'm involved in government as much as voting on issues when they come up, or when you hear about things going on in terms of changing, changing policy or changing things in local government. I listen to issues and I talk about them with friends and family members and stuff. That's probably about as much. I don't actually go out and campaign for people. I don't necessarily participate in different
Debates.
or what I guess I mean is like going to events or going to things to campaign for things, or even to support other Republicans or against Democrats or anything like that. I don't do that. I typically take my information in and then kind of internalize it and kind of talk about it with family and friends, and then vote on those issues. But I don't usually go out to public events to debate things or anything like that.
Cool. So, how has that changed over time?
I would say in college I was probably more involved. I was actually involved in our student government in college. Prior to that, in high school, I was involved in as much as student government in high school was. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but then once I got to college, there was a student government that I actually ran for and got elected to from our agricultural college, and so I was involved in it from that standpoint, but nothing ongoing. I never really saw the need to be involved in it personally. So over time, I guess I've gotten less involved in government, if that's something.
Yep. So. All right. So, are you concerned for the current state of the world?
I'm not concerned for I guess in what way?
I don't know, things maybe like global warming, the tensions between America and North Korea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as concerned as the next citizen. I think that government is in place to help people and protect the peace, help with providing some level of support for people. But I don't believe it has to be involved in every little piece of our lives. So there's a little, and that's really from a Republican or conservative standpoint. I mean, that's probably the main difference between liberals and conservatives, is how much you want government involved in your life. So I'm not concerned that the world is going to fall into disarray because we're not doing certain things, or we are. As long as people are involved in their local churches, as long as people are involved in their local governments, and voting on policies and issues, then I think society as a whole will continue to be okay. if people are apathetic and don't get involved and don't understand the issues that are going on and refuse to vote for politicians and others that are in place, then I think I think it'd be a challenge to continue our way of life. But that's going to be really difficult to go away from. I mean, that's kind of the normal policy. A lot of people. Am I concerned about how everything is right now? No, not really. I mean, things tend to, as long as people keep level heads and calm heads about certain things, I think it'll be okay. Other world governments and other things that are going on, there's always a risk that things are going to happen and go badly, but for the most part, there's a pretty stable world economy. There's a stable kind of world agreement on how things are working, and so from that standpoint, I think things are okay. Can they get better or worse? Certainly, but we're not going to fall into a Mad Max society anytime soon. So as long as people kind of go on with their day-to-day lives and jobs and continue to voice their opinion and vote on issues, I think we'll be fine.
Cool. And so last question, does learning about government matter?
Yes. No, it is. It matters a lot. And I would say as much as government, I would say history. I mean, people need to learn about the history of government and how things have evolved over time, and just being able to, because history repeats itself, and that's been shown. So you need to be aware of what things have happened in the past so that you can be prepared for what things are happening in the future. And so if you take time to learn about it, you'll understand the issues that are going on in the past as well as now. And then by learning about issues that are going on now, you can help influence how politicians are bringing things to their peers and voting on stuff. And so it's important that you learn about it.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's all my questions. Thanks.
Okay. So you have to turn in that whole thing.